Hello everyone, my name is Tips, and this video is going to be a straightforward guide about all the ores introduced in Calamity version 2.0.2.3. This guide is going to include what stage of the game the ores can be obtained, where they can be found, and also what they look like under regular lighting, no lighting, and while using a Spelunker potion. If any of that answers some of your questions, then please stick around and consider dropping a like. There will also be timestamps down in the description, but without further ado, let's start off with Aerialite ore. Aerialite is the only Calamity pre-Hardmode ore, and it is first generated inside floating islands upon World Gen. But it is indestructible until the Corruption's Hive Mind or Crimson's Perforators have been defeated. Before they've been defeated, Aerialite is generated as Disenchanted Aerialite, which is the yellow ore on the right. Disenchanted Aerialite is completely useless because it's not a material, and it also cannot be broken with pre-hard mode pickaxes. Disenchanted Aerialite transforms into regular usable Aerialite, which is the blue ore to the left. This transformation happens to all Disenchanted Aerialite once the Corruption's Hive Mind or the Crimson's Perforators have been defeated. Aerialite can be mined with a Deathbringer or a Nightmare pickaxe. And as you can see, Aerialite glows in the dark, unlike its counterpart Disenchanted Aerialite, which can help if you're mining for it in the dark. But if you wanted to know what it looks like with the Spelunker potion, this is what it looks like. Also, Aerialite, if you run out of it, there's a new slime that spawns once you defeat the bosses called Arrow Slimes, and they look like this, and they also drop Aerialite ore. The second Calamity ore that you'll encounter is Cryonic ore. Cryonic ore generates in the cavern area of the ice biome after Cryogen is defeated, which makes this ore post-hard mode. Cryonic ore requires you to have a titanium or adamantite forge to smelt it, and at least a titanium or adamantite pickaxe to mine it. Like Aerialite, Cryonic ore has a slime counterpart that can be found in the underground ice biome that drops Cryonic ore. At the bottom, Cryonic ore, if you're able to see this, it has a very faint blue glow. But if that's too hard on your eyes, you could always pop a Spelunker potion, which make it look like this. Like Aerialite, Cryonic ore also has a slime counterpart called Cryo Slimes, which look like this. The next ore up is the third ore that Calamity introduces, which is Hallowed ore. Hallowed ore is often a very confusing topic for beginners, so in order to better explain Hallowed ore, I'm going to first explain the hard mode or rework that Calamity introduces. When you first beat the Wall of Flesh, you will find that without having to break any altars, the first tier ore, palladium or cobalt, have already spawned. Once you beat one mechanical boss, the second tier ore spawns. Once you beat two bosses, the third tier spawns. Once you beat all bosses, that is when Hallowed ore spawns. Hallowed ore is generated in the cavern layer of all Hallowed biomes, and it spawns in very big chunks. Hallowed ore has a very slight glow, but if you want an even easier time finding it, you could pop a Spelunker potion, which makes it look like this. Sadly, there's no enemy that drops Hallowed ore, so you will only be able to mine it. The fourth new Calamity ore is the Perennial ore. Perennial ore is generated by defeating Plantera, and it requires a pickaxe axe or a Drax to mine it, and a titanium or adamantite forge to smelt it. Perennial ore is generated after Plantera is defeated, and it is generated in the lava layer above Hell. It can sadly only generate in stone, sand, and dirt blocks. What this means is that you will almost never find it in the jungle biome, which is extremely ironic and very annoying for beginners. Even though I just told you where to find it, I would recommend instead digging a screen-wide hole in the lava depths and filling it with platforms to farm perennial slimes. This is what the perennial slimes look like, but if you're still having a tough time finding them, I would recommend placing down a water candle and drinking a battle potion. But if for whatever reason you love pain and you want to know what perennial ore looks like with the Spelunker potion effect, well, here you go. The fifth ore is Scoria ore. Scoria ore generates in the deeper layers of the Abyss biome immediately upon World Gen, but it's unable to be mined until you have at least something equivalent or better than Golem's Pigsaw. Scoria ore is also dropped by the Ravager boss, or in smaller quantities by Devilfish and Cryonic puffers, which are also found in the Abyss. It has no glow, even with the Spelunker's amulet. It doesn't glow at all. In order to smelt Scoria ore into Scoria bars, you will only need the titanium or adamantite forge. The next ore is the 6th ore that Calamity adds, which is Astral ore. Astral ore is spawned into your world upon the Wall of Flesh's defeat, but it cannot be mined until you have beaten Astrum Deus and have a Pigsaw or better to mine it. Additionally, after Astrum Deus's defeat, Astral Slimes will begin to drop Astral ore. In order to smelt Astral ore, you will need an Ancient Manipulator to smelt the Astral ore into Astral bars. It has a slight glowing effect, and this is what it looks like with the Spelunker's potion. The 7th ore that Calamity adds is Post-Moonlord, and it is called the Uelibloom ore. Uelibloom ore can only be obtained after Providence has been defeated, as that's when it first generates in your world. But you will only need a titanium or adamantite forge to smelt it, and of course a lunar pickaxe to mine it. Uelibloom naturally generates very deep in the jungle, inside the lava level, but it is exceedingly rare. It's in fact so rare, I never found it a single time throughout my playthrough of Calamity. So instead, I would recommend you build a similar screen-wide arena to the Perennial ore one, and farm bloom slimes, which look like this. But if you want to try your luck at mining it, this is what Uelibloom looks like while under the influence of a Spelunker potion. Now, the final Calamity ore, the final ore that Calamity adds, is Auric ore. This ore can be found in the cavern layer after the jungle dragon Yaren has been defeated, and it requires at least a blossom pickaxe to mine, and a cosmic animal to forge the bars. Auric ore spawns in huge clusters because it requires a whopping 60 ore to make a bar, which is why I would recommend having the ore excavator mod installed, but it's completely up to you. Auric ore can also be dropped by Auric slimes, which spawn in the cavern layer and look like this. And also, this is what Auric ore looks like while under the effects of a Spelunker potion. Now, I included this last part because I figured that many of you would see these bars, or these 2 bars in recipes, and be confused about how you got the ore, because these are unique bars in the way that they don't actually have any ores that you need to mine in order to craft them. They aren't crafted at all, actually. The first bar is Cosmolite bars. These are dropped by the Devourer of Gods. And the last ore is Shadow Spec bars, which are dropped by Supreme Calamitas. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that it helped you out. Do keep in mind that if I forgot something about how to get some of these ores, I did do some research, but most of the sources and changelogs are either out of date or not descriptive enough. So please keep that in mind. But thank you, and have a nice day.